So what's going on YouTube? Today we're back with Young Thug trial day 93. Gonna call it YSL Circus City. Well, y'all probably seen days 1 through 92 and fucking figure out why I say that. Let's get straight into it. This is day 93. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, show your boys some love. Go in.
Permission to call?
No. She was asking me that, Mr. Copeland, okay?
Oh!
All right. You want to speak on that one?
Your Honor, next we will tender...
Wait, what? Speak on it? And they ignored him? Brian Steele's handing out the motion. The judge is reading it right now. The motion to recuse him. Miss Love shaking her head right now. Miss Love shaking her head. Day 93 of the Young Thug YSL Rico trial was painful. The state placed 2 of the 2015 interviews that show Lil Woody snitching after objection from the defense. Boy oh boy was today tedious. The state is showing full interviews with terrible audio that you can only hear like half the words, if that. I'm gonna try my best at cutting it down to the highlighted parts where you can actually understand stuff. And at the end of this video, you'll see Brian Steele hand out his motion to recuse the judge at the very end, and everything's so intense and silent. And they're flipping through the pages reading it. This trial's a goddamn shit show. Hit subscribe. Here we go, boys. First look at Thug on day 93 and Brian Steele and Shannon Stillwell on the right and Keith Adams on the left. Mr. Weinstein is actually sick, but he doesn't really know it yet at the time of this live stream, but he ends up going home.
And so the state would ask that we can move forward today with the first 4 interviews. We'll see where the day leads. Tomorrow have some litigation if necessary regarding the June 10th interviews. Everything he said in those interviews were lies, that he said anything that he wanted to say in order to get out of that interview, that we are impeaching him by contradiction.
So they want to play Woody's entire interviews. Defense obviously doesn't want to do that because it's going to take forever, and there's a lot of stuff in there that's prejudicial to other people. So
redactions that defense counsel may want, and so we're open to hearing what, if anything, they want redacted, so we can either consent to some things or have some litigation about that. But we're going to start with what I believe to be the easier interviews, which will be January 11th and February 20th.
That the foundation for prior inconsistent statements has not been laid in toto for the entire interviews to be played. Now, there may be specific snippets, but just to play the interview, we do not believe that the proper foundation has been laid. That being said, if the interviews are played, I understand what the state is saying, and Ms. Hilton communicated with me this morning, and I appreciate that. The first 2 interviews, those are interviews, and quite honestly, I've been focusing on the June 10th. I would ask that the defense have a little time just to look at those transcripts to just make sure, if Your Honor is going to allow those interviews to be played over our objection, or over our hearsay objection, make certain that there's nothing in those interviews that should not be played, that would fail 403 balancing, character evidence, etc. Mr. Copeland talking about things he doesn't have personal knowledge of.
What fucks me up is
hearsay,
how she got
character. It's just a very.
How does this bitch have tapes to be played, but she didn't go over the tape and hand them in? Because normally, if the tape is 12 hours, the prosecutor watches the fucking tape for 12 hours and then they cut it in half, basically just like how you do with the whole trial video. Shit is 6 hours. Ain't nobody sitting there 6 hours watching the shit. What you do, you chop it up to the important or entertaining part. In this case, this is more important, and then hand it in. This bitch is giving a 9-hour tape without even looking at it 4 years, 2 years prior to going to trial. Yo, nah, this case is weird, bro.
I think they want to leave.
At Nissan of South Morrow, buying a car is simple.
It ain't making no more. It don't make sense, bro. This shit don't make no sense.
Separately.
Well, we're not asking to bring this in for prior inconsistent statements. We're asking to bring it in under 24-6-607 and 24-6-621, which is impeachment by contradiction, in which a witness may be impeached by contradiction in several ways. Close questioning to elicit concessions of error. 2, questioning the witness about the substance of implication of evidence already produced during the case. Confronting the witness with his or her own contradictory prior statements. And that's what I want to focus on, Your Honor. Mr. Copeland testified repeatedly during trial last week that everything he said in those interviews was...
Yeah, I'm sorry for pausing, right? What I don't understand is this nigga Woody got up there and said, point blank period, yo, I made this shit up so the police can believe whatever I say and let me go. How is this nigga not... How is he still testifying? If he's clear, like, can somebody please, whoever see this video, give me some insight on that? Because from what I know is, if the fucking witness is up there saying he made this shit up and he's telling you, yo, I said made this up, then he shouldn't be on the stand still, because he's not credible no more. So see, please, somebody tell me, am I wrong? And what I mean by am I wrong is, should he still be testifying or should he not? Please, somebody answer that for me.
It's a lie, that he was just saying whatever he wanted to say in order to get out of there, that the officers were pressuring him to speak about Thug, that in the first interview, he did not come down there on his own. He only came at the request of law enforcement, and we believe each of these interviews contradict everything that he testified to in before this jury, Your Honor. So we believe that at this point it is right to show impeachment by contradiction.
Fall under contradiction, but playing the whole video, it's like they're saying he said he lied, and we're bringing this as contradiction, evidence of contradiction. But that would be assuming that he's telling the truth in that interview. It doesn't in and of itself facially contradict anything he's saying. He's just saying he lied.
Ordinarily,
he's saying he lied, but you show him a video.
The challenge in this circumstance is that Mr. Copeland's repeatedly said, I lied about everything. and I lied I told a lie as to what would get me out of this. So I think under those circumstances,
but once
this
the
is kind
judge
of
is on
broadening
the defense side,
because of his testimony, the entirety of that interview.
Did he say I lied about everything?
Yes.
He said exactly I lied about everything.
Yes, he did.
This is a problem that was created by the state, and they're trying to.
How did the state make this a problem when the witness testified, not just once, but repeatedly over the last several days, that he has lied about these particular interviews? He was lying because he wanted to get out of this. He told these people anything that he thought that would work. Ordinarily, sir, I would agree. I would totally agree with you, but I don't think the state set this particular witness up for that particular saying. He said it more than once.
Okay, I'd like to answer your question about how the state set this up. The state, we know that the state met with Kenneth Copeland. What was it, 2 weeks ago now? We know we were arguing about whether his attorney was alerted, etc. They met with him, I guess, in the courthouse. I don't know. We know that they met with him. They've done this with several of the people that are alleged to be associates of our clients. They have been asking about statements from 10 years ago. Intentionally have not allowed these witnesses, not afforded these witnesses an opportunity to review their past statements prior to testifying.
Ooh, that's low-key a good point if they intentionally did that.
So they want to play their past statements. They want, I don't recall. And so they bring these gentlemen in, ask them about statements that were made 10 years ago, and have never given them an opportunity. We know that the state, they're thorough. We know typically in trial, when the state is calling a witness, they say, hey, we want you to come into our office. We want you to sit down and review what you said in the past. And they do that regularly in trial prep. They have chosen not to do that for Kenneth Copeland. They chose not to do that for Trontavious Stevens. They have chosen to keep these gentlemen in the dark.
Wow,
and then
exactly.
ask them questions about statements they allegedly made 10 years ago. And when the gentlemen say, I don't recall, which is pretty understandable, they say, we get to get into prior inconsistent statements. We get to get into impeachment by contradiction. That was their choice. They should have let these gentlemen review their statements before taking the stand, and we probably would be in a different place. So that's why I'm saying this is a bit a situation that they created. It was strategic by the state, and they shouldn't benefit from it.
Everything I said was a lie. So at this point, Your Honor, it's not about. He's literally saying everything I said is a lie.
Did he literally say that? Those
Yes.
exact words are changing the judge's mind right now, and I need to see if he said that.
I told them lies back in 2015 just to get out of trouble. And what we are saying now is we don't believe that to be true. The jury can make an assessment based on his trial testimony and what he said previously and determine by his body language, by how he testified, by how he spoke to law enforcement, about what was asked of him, how he responded, whether or not they believe that everything he said previously is contradicted by how he acted in court.
Let me say this, right? I'm sorry for keep pausing. But one good thing that's coming out of Woody testifying is he is 90% of the case. Everything that he said, whether it was true or not or whatever, he is 90% of the case. So for what that means, for Thug and them side, if he's up there saying that he's lied continuously, he lied, he made it up to get out of trouble, he lied, it's really helping Thug and him. Because the jury is up there looking at him like, yo, one, we can see that this is a shit show. Two, he's saying that he's lying about everything. And he's playing around. So if I was the defense, Mr. Shard, the guy that's up there, the bald head guy that looked like Shaggy with a haircut from Scooby-Doo, I would keep that dude up there, bro. Keep him up there. Not keep him up there, but he's really helping y'all because he's saying he don't remember, he lied, he made it up. He's literally saying in front of the jury, I am saying yes so that we can get over this. And then when she asked him, are you just saying yes, but you're really lying? The nigga said, well, ain't that what I've been saying loud and clear? So if he been saying that loud and clear, then that means he's lying. Thank you, baby.
Shard is focusing on prior inconsistent statements. Again, we're impeaching by contradiction, meaning what he said in court is distinguishable from what he said previously in 2015.
I get what the state is saying, but they want the jury to figure out when Woody was lying. In court or on those 2015 interviews?
We have a duty not to just play prior statements that are not inconsistent and do not impeach current testimony. In addition,
You're saying testimony by prior contradiction.
It's an impeachment way to do it, but it's not impeachment for some things. Other things, sure. He said, I said anything to get out of trouble, to get the police to stop investigating me, or words to that effect, and put them on someone else. Also, there are detectives. There is Detective Thorpe in the January 11th, early morning hours, 2015, video, audio, and there are other officers. Those officers give statements as well. Now, some of the statements have to put in context, so the rule of completeness. However, other statements, the detectives are giving information that do not put anything in context. It's their opinion, but I do believe that the state needs to be more focused and not just say they're playing everything.
We're going to recess for 5 minutes, and I'll see if we can find that particular statement. And
so it actually ended up being a 45-minute break.
State, unless you've got something more specific, it looks like from looking at 607, it allows for the admission of intrinsic evidence to impeach specific errors or falsehoods in the witness's testimony on direct examination. So I haven't found anything in the transcript that indicates that what you said, everything I said was a lie. That's broad, and we'll probably open that up, but I haven't found anything. I think you're going to have to probably pare down your examination or rethink what you want to do.
Says in court, I was making it all up. That is
Because I was making it up.
I was making it up, meaning everything that he told law enforcement back then in order to get.
You added the word all. I was making it up, not all of it.
And whatever he was doing, I was making it up. We don't believe he was making it up. We believe that he was being truthful in those interviews. And so when he comes in court and says, I was making it up, meaning I was saying anything in that interview room in order to get out of custody or to get out of that interview. And at this point, the jurors can either believe right now what he's saying, or they can look at what he told detectives back in 2015, how he said it to detectives in 2015, and make a determination, is what he's saying in court contradicted by what we see in these prior interviews with him.
Were you recently injured in a car accident? Look at this check for $160,000.
Why do they have these
If you're looking to get money, you're owed for an...
I completely understand the state's perspective on this, and they're doing a good job arguing it, but...
Exactly right, Judge. These rules are not so broad as to just allow hours-long statements in based on specific denials. The idea that I think you also should consider, and is within your purview, to consider the gamesmanship.
I'm going to stop you. I don't think that anybody's playing and running games.
Well, I think that...
I think so.
So you don't think that they specifically chose not to show this gentleman his videos so he would not recall things when asked about 10-year-old statements?
I don't think that any self-righteous advocate...
Well, I see what the prosecutor's trying to do.
Well, why hasn't he seen the videos then?
I don't know, sir. I don't.
Okay.
I don't.
The prosecutor basically is trying to sit there and say, all right, well, he made this up, so let the jury decide if he made it up. So what she's saying is, all right, well, since I can't get him to say, yeah, I said that, and explain things, she's trying to push it to say, well, was this the truth? And go to the video. And while everybody watched the video, she's thinking that the jury is gonna be like, so that's the truth. But he's clearly saying he said that to get out of trouble. So I say let him play it, bro. Fuck him.
And I don't know what their prep entails, but again, we're not going into attacks against anybody. Okay?
It's not an attack. I just think it was strategy, and they shouldn't benefit from the strategy. I'm not making a personal attack. I mean,
but there are pros and cons about how witnesses are prepped.
So, but they're trying to say just because he doesn't
judge is fucking
remember,
corrupt, bro. I don't care what nobody said.
Denies specific parts, somehow this opens up the entire statement based on, well, the jurors should get to see his demeanor. And again, they can see his demeanor on the specific part that is being impeached.
But I'm concerned about, because he says when you're asking me about interviews, that's broad. He's saying in these interviews that I have been undergoing, I keep telling you, you keep asking me step by step. When they got me this day, I was going to jail. I tried to come up with something to tell him. That's why I can't tell you what I said. I was making it up.
In my observations, he's frustrated because he doesn't understand the rules of evidence. He doesn't understand that the state was trying to lay a foundation for prior inconsistent statements. But just because he's frustrated and doesn't answer the question, and quite honestly is non-responsive, that doesn't mean the foundation was laid. They still have to lay the foundation.
I, at this point, renew my motion for severance. None of this relates to Mr. Nichols. Okay. So I know you gave me a continuing objection.
Mr. Nichols' name has not been brought up in 90 days of the trial. Like, he's legit just been sitting there doing nothing.
Based on CGA 24-607 and 24-621.
He's going back to the state side.
I'm going to allow the state over objection to play the interviews on January the 11th of 2015 and February the 20th of 2015.
There are a lot of people that genuinely believe Woody knew they were recording and lied to his girlfriend. That motherfucker is not smart enough for that. I promise you. He did not predict the future 9 years ahead for a YSL trial. And that situation isn't even incriminating for someone in YSL. It's just pointing out who shot at him, like the rival gang. It's not even involving YSL. All right, Woody's back up on the stand. He doesn't look too happy. Here we go.
Got permission to approach?
Nope. She's asking me that, Mr. Cooper. Okay.
He said, do you got...
Look at what the stage is going to show you.
This motherfucker is a clown, bro. So this is the interview literally hours after Donovan Thomas was killed. Woody is freaking out because he knows that the rival gang thinks he killed him. So Woody's in there like, I'm scared for my life. They're going to try to kill me because they think I killed Donovan Thomas. Of course, the audio is terrible, so he won't be able to hear a majority of this.
I can face him, but I shook his hand like he's over it, but he's not.
I think he just said he shook his hand, like Donovan Thomas's hand. Why would he kill him?
Me and Kel.
He said me and Kel, Kelvin Watts, Shell Kel, Peanut's brother.
Me and him, we had a problem in the club. No, this nut. Kel not right, but he wanted to talk to Thug, so him and Thug talk.
So he's talking to Shell Kel about his beef, and then he ended up letting Thug talk to him too on the phone, but he doesn't know what they talked about.
I pulled out my money. I'm on stage, I'm flashing my money, so I'm good standing around. I'm flashing money.
I'm on the stage flashing money.
So I get on the stage, I'm flashing money. Kel, in this whole walk up on me. So I look at her, she's like, what's up, bro? Hey, what's up? I'm like, what's up, bro? She's like, Thug still won't pay me the window. Like, I guess so, bro. But he in the club, like, go talk to him. You know what I'm saying? He took his neck, he put his neck inside. So I look at her, I put money in my pocket. So I put money in my pocket. Kel punched me in the back of the head. So he punched me in the back of the head. They push him to the ground, He tries to go in my pocket and get my money. But as I hold on to my money, the other guy punched me out in the face. Right in the I was holding on to the money.
Oh, he's just talking about getting jumped.
They had a meeting. Like, it was a blood meeting. And the meeting was about me and Thug.
Now he's talking about the meeting that they kept bringing up where he found out that they wanted to kill Thug and him.
I'm sitting there like, what Thug got to do with it, bro? Young Thug was just talking. Young Thug was the rap. You know what I'm saying? So I'm talking to him. Like, he with you. I'm like, bro, it ain't no beef, bro. Like, what have I done to him? I ain't never talked to any girlfriend. I never did anything to him. Now, why did he get me? You know, it's a gambling house. And we gambling. You know, that Lakewood. They go to stand on top of the roof and shoot inside.
Now he's snitching on his rival gang, shooting at from up top the roof. Remember, someone was standing on the roof and shot at the gambling house, I believe.
Moto come like, oh, you know, they talked to my me and him, shot on Moto. They like, they said me and him did. You got to know for Moto. Yeah, MOONK TNOOK, I think.
Bro, spelling out his boys' names. So in this interview so far, he seems to be telling the truth, and that's what the state wants to show the jury, that he's telling the truth in these interviews.
To 3/12/58.
Oh! That boy's yawning and stretching.
Oh, yeah, I see it going.
What is this face right now?
I didn't do it. I never had a problem with it.
So yeah, he's freaking out. I never had a problem with Nut. He got a call from someone telling him that apparently they heard he killed him.
The only person I had a problem with was Kid. I don't really be with him. When we see each other, they jump me up. When they be with him, don't jump me up. Boy, every time, like me and him, we just look at each other. But the last time, we just set each other up. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, oh, it ain't no beat. I don't know what's going on with Kid, man. Like,
what have you been trying to say that the detectives forced him to say shit? The detective hasn't even spoken yet. He's just been the only one talking.
We can't be Jordan. Inglewood, ABG.
Inglewood, ABG.
Y'all ever had a Infinity Gray? A Gray Infinity Q45 before? A truck? No. A car? Yeah. I know.
We just asked him if he knows about the Gray Infinity. I don't think Woody knows that the car that they used was the Infinity. I think he thought it was a different type of car. He's
like, this like kind of stop. Okay. Kind of stop. He always will VG hoodie. And if it's like you around, it's not like it.
Bro is describing someone's whole height and facial features and clothes.
He got this shit here.
Oh, was he describing Shell Cow?
I get named everything here. Like, my name comes in everything. Everything. Like, if my first time name ever comes in merch, so I didn't know what to do. I'm telling you, like, right now, I'm telling you, the only reason I'm scared because I didn't do it.
A place where inspiration works alongside innovation, where freedom finds adventure, and where culture calls home. Perimeter. I feel I'm saying that video my time. I can do it. Ain't nothing, never had a problem. But I was nervous. I was scared. I didn't know. I didn't know what to do. Like, once on the house club, I didn't know that. Dang, bro, like, everybody gonna sit here and say, well, I did it. I go through this every time. I can't do that about it. Now somebody's dead. I ain't afraid of it. You know what I'm saying? Nothing, but I just don't want to go to jail or die. I
kind of think he's telling the truth right now. He just said, I don't want to go to jail or die for something I didn't do. Talking about killing Nut. Some people are going to think that, you know, he was genuinely scared and maybe he did kill him. I don't think he killed him, bro.
So, right now, so, me and each other, each other. You know, see, like, what's going on with you. It ain't even dead. It ain't. It's a game. It's the whole clip. You know what I'm saying? It's deep.
So that's him saying the whole gang is going to be after him?
I ain't have nothing to do with this. I ain't kill him. I ain't have him killed. I ain't never tried to fight him. I ain't never tried to rob him. I ain't never done nothing to him. Me and Ted, we don't see each other plenty of times in the street. I ain't never did that to each other. Ain't never in life, man. Like, no. I'm so frustrated, man. I call my brother, man. So, nothing they care, bro. He's cool with everybody. Nothing cool with everybody. You know what I'm saying? Well, it Ted was a problem. When I get against him, yo, that's don't got this. You know what I'm saying? You see me throwing money, I'll flash money.
So at one point he just said Nut's cool with everybody. He's basically saying that he would never do this. It seems like he's telling the truth, but I don't know, man. It's up for the jury to decide, and who knows what the jury's thinking right now. So suddenly the court went on a long-ass 2.5 hour long break. Someone got sick.
Anybody else need a mask?
When I turned it up, the Camaro, like, they go straight. As I read that, I see the same Camaro fly to the stop sign where he was going to bed in me.
This is when he's being followed by that red Camaro.
I went down to the house and like see what's going on. I honestly, it got me lost, confused, I'm frustrated now, but I ain't do it. I ain't have nothing to do with it. Can nobody say they see me do it? Can nobody say they see me do that? I ain't have nothing to do with it. They come shooting at my house. They ain't got down to the bottom of the store. They don't know what's going on. First thing, come right in. That's it? Yeah, that's all. If I have anything, you'll see them. I come right back down to the club.
As I just said, if I hear or see anything, I'll come right back down here.
You want to speak on that one?
Your Honor, next we will tender State's Exhibit
Wait, what? Woody just asked if they wanted to speak on it and they ignored him? What was that? Here's the February 20th interview from 40 days after Donovan Thomas was killed. His girl in there too.
How you get him in followers? Tay.
So he just said the name Tay. That's the guy that he says shot at him, but then in court, remember, he was saying he never saw him. I'm getting the vibes that Woody regrets snitching and he hates that it's coming out in court, and he's just saying that it was all a lie.
But that's a
all
lot
he's
of
doing,
snitching.
but he was telling the truth.
They hate it.
I'm still looking at it. So I heard put in the cut. I heard get in. So when I told her to get in, the cut turned out. So I walked around to the driver door. When I walked around to the driver door, I opened the door. It was halfway up, halfway down. Okay. So they got to stick their hand out. I just seen them just start shooting. I ducked. I ran around. Grabbed the baby out the cup. I was thinking they were going to shoot the cup. Okay. I grabbed the baby out the cup and told her, come on. When I grabbed him out the cup, I just pulled my gun. I just shot that. When I shot that, they stopped shooting. I stopped shooting. Okay. Come on, we ran back in the house. They ran back to the door. We had to put the coal in it. They started shooting again. I shot again. I shot 2 times. Then when I shot 2 times, I just see them red. Boom. So when they red, I read the pen. So I shot her put in. I looked at him. Yeah, because he aimed it tight.
The whole situation with him being shot with this kid out front of his house.
Why would they be still shooting at you? Forget it, man. Everybody's the same question, man. This bad thing about it, I can't say. This bad thing about everything's going on, man.
Detective asked him, why would they be shooting at you? He said, I can't tell you. Everything going on, man.
I can't even say what it's about, man.
I can't tell you what it's about, man.
Who do you think at this point? Do you recognize anybody in the car that tonight that evening that shot at you? Do you recognize anybody?
I couldn't even see that thing.
You recognize who it is.
He's not answering the question for some reason right now.
So you saying the loyalty, not knowing who is out here shooting at your baby mama and your baby ain't gonna stop it? Because you can't sit here and tell me today who you recognize as the person who was shooting at you.
They been shooting up all these houses. I didn't retaliate not one time. I'm gonna tell you why I have. Because I feel like police out to get me.
You know one of the dudes that sit in that car that shot at you, and you were sitting here today and won't tell.
There's people that think Woody intentionally didn't tell this guy who shot at him, but then with his girlfriend, he told his girlfriend in there intentionally so they would record it. He is not smart enough for that, bruh. I'm telling you right now, this guy is not smart enough for that. There's this misconception that Woody is some genius.
Nah, that ass. Well, I think he did. He's trying to make it seem like to his girl, like, nah, I ain't no snitch. Like, I ain't no. But when he's by himself, he tells. Like, nigga, you a rat.
Last time we was in the club, punched me in the face, tried to go and fight with it. I hold on to the win. Nobody take no money from me. They try to turn everybody against me. They even try to turn thug against me.
He said they tried to turn thug against him too. Dude, I don't think he killed Nut. I'm just gonna put that opinion out there. If y'all disagree with me, I'll have to tell you. But I don't think he did. All of this seems genuine.
They didn't want me and him together because I got a lot going on. And I don't want him to get caught up in it. They're gonna have a way to put me in everything. Woody got something to do with it. Woody got something to do with it. Woody got something.
Said they pin everything on him. Woody got something to do with it.
That's Copeland.
This man's never standing up for the jury. Look how over it he is, bro.
Tay I'm going to jail.
If I tell them Tay did it, I'm gonna go to jail?
When he go to jail, he gonna tell everybody I told him.
He gonna tell everyone that I told on him. I mean, this is clearly the truth. I promise you he's not smart enough to just lie about this on camera thinking he's recorded. They've been talking about casual shit.
You can go right there home. I'm not gonna run from these niggas.
Straight up.
Crazy, bro. I refuse to run from anybody, man.
Hold up. Did he just say straight up to that? He said, I'm not gonna run from these M-words. And then he said straight up.
State in the court.
Brian Steele's handing out the motion.
This is not a foul.
Alright, so this is where Brian Steele put in a motion to get Young Thug judge, Mr. Glanville, this guy in the back, right here with the fucking bald head, to get him thrown out for what happened the other day. I hope he does get thrown out. I want to see how the judge reacts, though.
Just a courtesy comment.
The judge is reading it right now. The motion to recuse him. Here we go, boys. Miss Love shaking her head right now. Miss Love shaking her head. It's so quiet. This is so intense. The judge is flipping through the pages. He ain't even reading all this. The judge flipping through this shit quick as hell.
It'll be e-filed tomorrow, so we'll take it up then.
Who knows if Woody's telling the truth? I think it seems genuine, but some people are going to think he's lying and this is a whole big plan and he's the one that killed Nut. So jury doesn't come in tomorrow and then there's no court Wednesday because it's a holiday. They come back on Thursday and then there's no court on Friday. So this week only has basically one more day of testimony with Woody, and it's Thursday. Absolute shit show of a trial.
Yeah.
I don't even know how it's still continuing.
This trial is going to go on until 2025 in the middle. bro, one, that's a whole lot of the taxpayers. Two, if this shit goes into mistrial or anything, then there's two things gonna happen. A lot of people's gonna get low ass fucking offers. To the prosecutor's gonna give them like low ass offers because she knows that she can't beat the trial, and they don't have enough money to do a trial like this again. Because trust me, a lot of the taxpayer dollars matter. That's why all of these motherfuckers is in the courtroom. And number two is Thug might get bail, bro. A lot of them is gonna get bail or get or plea to less charges because this shit is the most corrupt, bro. The judge is having secret meetings with the prosecutor and the witness. That is all terms, no matter how you put it, regardless of the United States law, that is all terms for a mistrial. If somebody actually sits down, another judge, and read that and even see the transcripts, because that's why Judge Glanville don't want them to see the transcripts, because they don't want him, he don't want them to see what he actually said. And I believe he actually told them, like, sir, listen, if you don't want to testify, and what I mean by he had a secret meeting with Woody, the guy that's testifying. So I believe that the judge told Woody, like, sir, listen, if you do not testify, I'm going to send you to jail. Not only am I going to send you to jail, you're going to be in jail all the way until the next trial, not this trial, until every last 20, whatever the fuck amount of people go to trial and the trial finished. So that means you can be sitting in jail for about 3 to 4 years because this trial right here is going to take 2 years. So for the rest of the people, if that trial, if they take that shit to trial and that shit goes whole another 2 years, you'll be sitting in jail for 4 years. That, and this is what I think that he told Woody in the secret meeting. That is fucking illegal. That's against constitutional law, and that's against law, period. Regardless of, even if, right, all these motherfuckers killed everybody, if it doesn't go lawfully in the courtroom, you get due process. Due process is you go through the court, right? You get tried by a jury of your peers with no interruption, with no coercion, with nothing. That's how it's supposed to go by law. But instead, these motherfuckers is doing it the illegal way. Man, make sure you comment down, subscribe. I just wanted to go over this and give my reaction. It's your boy, I'm outie.